Hello, people. Welcome back to Go Sleep MMA. UFC 300 was last night. It feels like Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. And we had some absolutely phenomenal finishes, highlights, the killing of the highlight. We had, I think, every fight on this card for the most part lived up to the hype. And I'm going to talk a bit about UFC 300 in this one, a pretty good video, but I'm gonna keep bringing videos all week because there's a lot to talk about, and I don't think I'm gonna fit all that in one video. But we'll start with the main event. What happened most recently? Alex Pereira, that little short check hook, the little hook uppercut, left hook uppercut situation. Man, that is unrivaled, scary power in the UFC. Pound for pound, fucking go to any division. The only dude who has that sort of, scary power would have to be, maybe Pavlovich and Topuria. They're, the only two people I can think of. And even then, I think Pereira is probably just the most powerful dude in the UFC. And Jamal Hill has a good chin. So, that makes this even more impressive for me. He was looking good kicks. Jamal Hill was looking good with some good kicks, good body shots from both, but this was Poaton's night all night, no doubt about it. He didn't take a whole lot of damage in this one, but there's just no way he's gonna do the fight in Brazil in fucking, what is it, essentially, is it 3 weeks from now? Yeah, no shot. But we'll probably see Poaton back against, Ankalaev or something like that in July. And that fight just got a lot harder to predict. I mean, Pereira looked absolutely fantastic in this one. Yeah, there's not really much more to say about that. I mean, he connected with his signature hand, and it was lights out it was sweet dreams for Sweet Dreams, you feel me? And if you watched my prediction video, or you've watched some of my videos in the past about Jamal Hill and or Alex Pereira, I was heavily favoring Alex Pereira in this fight. I wanted him to win. I don't really like Jamal Hill very much. So this was a really desired outcome for me. It was a fantastic way to cap off a fantastic evening of fights. And I gotta say, it really did put a smile on my face. And this photo, this pose, not particularly this photo, I'm sure there's a better one of him actually asleep, but this goes hard as hell. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting him to do. I wasn't expecting him to do that when he got up, but just the point down with the hands, it went hard. Easy work for Alex Pereira. I think a lot of people thought Jamal Hill was going to do better. I think a lot of people had this more of a 50-50 fight, but I think everyone's happy to see Poaton get his first title defense in the UFC, third title victory, and to see Jamal Hill sent back to contender status. So honestly, I would love to see Jamal Hill take a little bit of time off, really recover that leg a little bit more, and the chin, of course, and fight Yuri, number one contender fight, while Pereira fights Ankalaev. Now we'll talk a little bit about the fight between the two Chinese women, Zhang Weili versus Yang Xiaonan. This fight went pretty well, exactly how I thought it would, except Zhang Weili did get tagged a good couple of times, was in a little bit of trouble. But she also had Yang Xiaonan in a fully sunken in rear naked choke, literally put her to sleep at the end of the first round. I believe it was the first round. And I was a little bit shocked to see that. Not shocked to see that she got it. I was shocked to see that Yang Xiaonan she's a dog. You gotta give her credit. I was very shocked to see her get up, basically from being unconscious, and 60 seconds later, still be in the fight and then fight 4 more rounds. But this was classic Zhang Weili. She looked okay. She didn't look as dominant as I wanted her to, but she's never been the most defensively sound fighter in the world, So, can't wait to see who she fights next. Lots of people in that division. And now let's talk about this fight. Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje. Man, this fight of the night, no doubt about it. Lived up to expectations, did exactly what I thought it was going to do. And Max Holloway did exactly what I thought he was going to do, except for knocking Justin Gaethje out cold with 1 second left in the fight. Literally, if the fight went one more second, Max Holloway would have done what I said he would have done and won by a 49-46 decision. He was schooling Justin Gaethje in the striking. It was just a great situation of, landing 3 or 4 for every one that you get hit with. It was just an absolute boxing masterclass. Justin Gaethje was having success, did knock him. Well, I don't know if it was a technical knockdown because it was a bit of a stumble or whatever, but knocked down Max Holloway, absolutely chewed up his legs, which again we always expect that out of Justin Gaethje. But Max Holloway showed up, really looked like he had more power on his punches than back in like 2019 when he fought DP, and it was just fun to watch. This was a vintage blessed performance. Edgar cut Max is back, and he looked like a proper 155er. He got on the mic after putting Justin Gaethje out cold, after pointing at the canvas, putting his win on the line with 10 seconds left, and then knocking Justin Gaethje out cold. He said, I want the Matador or Islam Makhachev. He said, I'll take anyone in either division. You gotta respect that he really is the BMF of the UFC. There's no fucking doubt about it. But I think he loses probably both of those fights. I love Max Holloway. I think he loses. I think he just gets wrestle fucked and submitted probably by Islam. And Topuria, he showed to have the chin against Gaethje, who's probably like somewhat similar in power to Ilia Topuria, although not nearly as technical. But if Max can nullify the power and a little bit of the grappling of Topuria and put on a performance like he did against Justin Gaethje tonight, he could be the new featherweight champion. But I don't love his chances in that. I probably see him getting outboxed a little bit. Topuria, it does have that featherweight speed, plus he got scary power, but it would be a fantastic fight. I love that fight for Max more now. I think it would be really, really close. It would probably go to decision, but it would be fight. If this was fight of the night in contention for fight of the year, that would probably be like fight of the year. I think it would be absolutely just, guns blazing from the get-go. But moving on, Charles Oliveira loses to Arman Tsarukyan, what I assume is a number one contenders fight, of course. So Arman is going to get a title shot after Dustin Poirier, which is going down in June. I'll talk about that and the other fight announcements in another video. But yeah, this fight, Arman outstruck him, got him down, was very close to being submitted a couple of times, a very tight guillotine, a relatively tight Darce choke in the first and then in the third round, respectively. And Charles just didn't really have an answer to the top pressure and the decent striking and the takedowns of Arman. And Arman is a dog for not tapping or not going to sleep. I don't know how he didn't go to sleep to the guillotine. It was pretty tight, but not tapping, fighting through it, and winning the fight. Definitely a good win for Arman. People for one, shouldn't have been a split decision. You could argue it was 30-27 for Arman Tsarukyan. Well, but you know what I'm saying? Charles couldn't have won that fight. It wasn't a robbery. Arman Tsarukyan wins clearly, more damage. Ground and pound looked great. The elbows, big elbows, and yeah, 2 wins in one night. Beat the shit out of. Well, I think he just punched some dude in the crowd on the way in, and then came in and beat up Du Bronx. Yeah, that was a quick one. Just wanted to talk about that. And the last fight, or the first fight on the main card, Cody Brundage loses to Bo Nickel in the second round. Quite literally exactly how I said it would go down. Like I said in my prediction video, Bo Nickel would win the first round, but I'll give Cody Brundage the benefit of the doubt that he can survive it. And then the second round, Bo Nickel would rear naked choke him. It's exactly what happened. But man, if Bo Nickel isn't just dominating and submitting Cody Brundage, his call out of Hamzat was just crazy. There's no way. Like, Hamzat would fucking murder Bo Nickel right now. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. But we got to see Bo Nickel against, like, maybe one more dude just outside of the top 15, and then maybe give him a top 15 chance. But I mean, Cody Brundage survived longer than he probably should have. And I think that, like, I know that's why Bo Nickel got up and, like, thumbs down or whatever he did and was just not happy with the performance. Because honestly, it wasn't the performance like anybody was expecting. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. That was just me recapping the main card, just kind of talking about it. I'll have more content coming out this week and next week about UFC 300 and about the pay-per-views coming up. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the card in the comments. I don't care what you have to say negatively, to be honest. Besides Aljamain Sterling versus Calvin Kattar, pretty much every fight delivered. It was fantastic. I loved every second of it. So yeah, if you love all things MMA, you want to see more predictions, breakdowns, and me yapping, hit subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed, and thank you guys so much for watching. Now go slip.